How's it hanging, people? I'm Lindsay Geektron, and this is LolKing's League Trends for the week of September 30th, 2014. This week's episode is heavily influenced by patch 4.17 and the World Championships. Our featured champions this week include Lee Sin, Leona, Soraka, Victor, Zilean, and Braum. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. This week, the increased pick rates are Janna, Soraka, Lee Sin, Victor, and Lucian. Lee Sin is an all-around strong early jungler who's seen a lot of play in Worlds. He has been picked or banned in nearly all of the games in the group stages. So let's look at why everyone wants a piece of the Blind Monk. Lee Sin is always a player and fan favorite, even though he was nerfed not long ago. His E, Cripple, no longer reduces attack speed. Players have, however, found that he is still a presence to be reckoned with. As with the popularity of aggressive early game junglers, his early game power, mobility, and big plays are as relevant as ever. With the current assassin meta, junglers like Kha'Zix and Lee Sin have found their time to shine, as they work well to counter against early game aggressors like Zed. Expect to see him roadhousing his way towards the finals, as well as in solo queue. Decreased pick rates list Leona, Nidalee, Tristana, Talon, and Morgana. With the rise of assassins like Zed and Talon, Leona and other fellow disengagers have seen more popularity as a way to try and counter deletion from the map. However, for some reason, Leona is not at the cool kids table this week. She shows up on this list due to rising supports such as Zilean and Janna. And yet, in spite of the unconventional support picks, she is still one of the most popular champions in the game. The Radiant Dawn brings enough long-range initiation with Zenith Blade for any team to hard engage. And on top of that, it's one of the best initiation abilities on the Rift. Solar Flare's CC can be used defensively as well as offensively, and when used at just the right moment, really has the potential to turn the game around. While we may not see Leona at Worlds, look for her in solo queue, as well as my game history. Champs on the increased win rates list are Rammus, Soraka, Cassiopeia, Garen, and Gangplank. The Star Child has seen her fair share of Summoner's Rift in Season 4. And in patch 4.17, Riot made quite a few changes to keep her in the bot lane. Let's go over those changes. She now has much more range on Star Call, but the MR shred has been removed, which effectively takes her out of the top and mid lanes. It now also falls at a rate proportionate to the distance you're attempting to cast it. The further away you cast it, the slower it takes for the star to fall, but in a slightly larger radius. Riot also added an AoE silence and root to her Equinox. Basically, her zoning and her escape just got better, and with a slightly longer range on Star Call, it puts her out of reach of melee champions. And the ability formerly known as Astral Blessing is now Astral Infusion, and it now heals an ally with 10% of Soraka's health in addition to the, albeit reduced, mana cost. With the health tax, this decreases her ability to spam the heals like before. But even with these changes, it's hard to stay away from her, and it's very likely we'll still see Soraka's win rates continue to climb. Decreased pick rates this week are Sion, Victor, Nidalee, Rumble, and Skarner. Soraka wasn't the only champion to get a complete overhaul in patch 4.17. The Machine Herald's facelift was a long time in coming. For the updates and playstyle overhaul, Riot tinkered with making him more customizable. And as to be expected with a playstyle overhaul, players have to relearn how to Victor. And since his playstyle requires multiple decisions on what skill and what items to build because of Augment, it's small wonder we see him decreasing in win rates. Briefly, here are some of the changes folks have to get used to. Riot completely repurposed the Augment system. Basically, there's no level gate anymore, only gold. So you could choose to rush the perfect hex core with 168 AP, or you could completely ignore it for other items. Plus, each augment upgrade gives flat AP and mana, increasing the range on Siphon Power and Gravity Field round out what looks to be a comprehensive champion. So what do you guys think? Will we see more Victor on the Rift? Let us know in the comments down below. Champs increasing in ban rates are Tristana again at the top of the list, while Kha'Zix, Lucian, Zed, and Zilean follow up. Like a few other featured champions this week, Zilean shows up on the show due to his performance at Worlds. The Chrono Keeper's growing popularity has brought his strengths to light, particularly in the current assassin meta. His E, Time Warp, can speed up allies or slow down enemies by 55% for 5.5 seconds at max rank. Zilean's control and flexibility as both a mid laner and support has made him quite the ban target. In high-stakes games like at Worlds, Zilean's ultimate, Chrono Shift, provides a second life to those teammates who may have been bursted down by an assassin like Zed. On patch 417, Riot changed the visual on his R so that the rotating hourglass is now 50% larger. Now with more hours. With his utility against assassins, expect to see more Zilean on the Rift, doing the time warp. Rocky Horror Picture Show? Anybody? You kids these days. Finally, the decreased ban rates include Nidalee, Braum, Morgana, Talon, and Maokai. One of the newest champions to hit the Rift appears to have had his time in the sun. The Heart of the Freljord drops over 8% this week for two big reasons. With the rise of the assassin meta, disengaged heavy supports like Janna and Nami have begun to take over the bot lane. What this does is create better ban options when it comes to the meta, and Braum is simply not relevant. Braum's stun, knockup, and protection are as relevant as ever. However, he's benefited from the rise of other threats. The second reason why we see Braum decreasing in ban rates is, with the rise of Janna and Nami, Braum's laning phase just became exponentially more difficult. However, there are instances where he can be useful and should not be discounted, particularly when the current meta is being ignored. We'll likely continue to see Braum often in solo queue. And that does it for this week's show. Please be sure you check back every week for the latest League of Legends picks, bans, and win rates. Please be sure you like and comment below, especially if you like this video, and share this video around with all of your friends because at the end of the day, we're all just buddies who like to play League of Legends together. Or feed in League of Legends together, whichever. Also, don't forget to subscribe to LolKing's YouTube channel, lolking.net, for more great content. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitch at Lindsay Geektron. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see everyone next week.